Hello everyone, today is December 22nd, 2021. The following are the important articles that we have to read in the Hindu newspaper for competitive exams. The first article from page number 1 is House Panel to Review Bill on Raising Marriage Age of Women. So you have to understand the process of how a House Panel works, what are the outcomes of a House Panel work, how are they important for the parliamentary proceedings. From that perspective, read this article. Recently, there was an article from PRS Legislative stating that the number of times a bill that is being given to a House panel has gone down significantly. Try to understand the advantages of these kinds of reviews, particularly by House panels or House committees. Why recently there has been a downtrend in bills being referred to either House panels or House committees for verification or re-verification. Very important in terms of parliamentary proceedings, very important in terms of democracy. Try to understand it from that point of view. The next bit of article in the developing in issue, Sri Lanka detains 13 more Indian fishermen. Try to get a history of issues between India and Sri Lanka in terms of fishermen, particularly what are the outstanding issues that both countries share. Moving on, anti-national not defined in status. Try to understand why this term anti-national is being used in the recent times, particularly why at this point of time the government has to come out with a clarification. Just understand the history of it. After that, don't worry. Coming to page number 6, editorial, thinking before linking. This is again in relation to linking of voter ID or voting with Aadhaar. Try to understand, as I said, both the positives and the negatives of it. What are the challenges in implementing this process? What are the drawbacks of implementing this project? Try to get it from that perspective. Also, try to get few points as to what are the advantages of this linking, why the government is pursuing this linking. Moving on, how the code on wages legalizes bonded labor. There are few good points from this article. Try to get those points. That would be enough for your answer writing. Apart from it, don't spend much time in it. Coming to page number 8, the first article is Government disagrees with India's rank in World Press Freedom Index. So what is World Press Freedom Index? Who issues is? What are the parameters under which they give rankings out to countries? That's it. Don't go any deeper. Shringla for talks with Myanmar military. Why this visit is significant? What is happening in Myanmar? What are the issues between India and Myanmar? Compassionate job not a vested right, says Supreme Court. What is compassionate job appointments? That's it. There isn't much to discuss there. So apart from that, don't get a deeper understanding of that issue. Coming to page number 10, 22 died while cleaning sewers in 2021. So this is again in relation to the concept of or the idea of or the practice of manual scavenging. It is equal to that, because at the end of the day, this is an outstanding issue. This is an individual's rights issue. There is a lot of opposition to this idea of people cleaning sewer tanks. Try to understand from that perspective. Chilai Kalan puts Kashmir in a deep freeze. Local cultural name, and also try to understand the name. Apart from it, not important. Just remember the name and what it is, what it means. Coming to page number 11, China slaps sanctions on US government officials over Xinjiang province. So why are they reciprocating sanctions on US? Remember, US imposed sanctions on Chinese officials and Chinese military officers. Now China is reciprocating. Try to understand what is happening in Xinjiang province. So let us be realistic about it. Taliban allows protest calling for aid. So what is the current humanitarian crisis brewing in Afghanistan? What are the reasons that led to the current crisis? As we discussed in yesterday's paper, similarly, the who, what and why. NATO seeks meaningful talks with Russia early next year. So why is NATO seeking early talks, particularly meaningful ones? Given the crisis that is brewing in the borders of Ukraine and Russia, this is again contextual, very important. Try to understand the ground scenario happening there. Now, Saudi-led strikes halt 8 flights into Yemen capital. Map pointing view, important. One more perspective or aspect that you have to concentrate is what is happening in Yemen. What is the humanitarian crisis? What are the causes that are leading to it? Just be aware of those basic points. Coming to text and context, the first article for today in this is the problem with Udan scheme. Again, get a complete comprehensive understanding of the Udan scheme. There are certain points that have been listed in this article where they are saying that these are the issues with the current Udan scheme, or at least the current schematics of the Udan scheme. Try to get those things. Is there any possible way that these can be solved? And at the end of the day, air connectivity is a core issue. The more connected a region is, or a city is, the better opportunities it provides for entrepreneurs. So try to get it from that point of view. Now, the second article, as I said, is as a festering crisis in Palk State. So this gives you a comprehensive understanding of the current crisis that is brewing between India and Sri Lanka in terms of fishing vessels and fishing areas or fishing zones. So it is not a new issue. It has been a historical issue, an outstanding issue that needs to be sorted out. Try to understand it from that perspective. Come up with few possible innovative ways that the government of India can implement to address this issue and settle this issue of the frequent skirmishes between fishermen and Sri Lankan Navy. These are the important articles for today for competitive exams in the Hindu newspaper. If you have liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe to the channel, and please do share this video with your friends. Thank you. Namaste.